What's up, everybody? Ron P, WiseGuyBets, coming to you with some DFS picks for tonight. We're looking at the DraftKings main slate. There's 5 games on the slate. I'm going to give you value picks, players who I think are going to 5x, 6x, and if we're very lucky, 7x their salary. So I'm going to give you 2 guards, 2 forwards, 1 center. Let's get right into it. At the point guard position, I'm looking at Kemba Walker, who's starting tonight. He's back in the lineup rotation due to COVID issues that the Knicks are having. Had a great game in his last game. He had 43 fantasy points. His projection for tonight is 29. Detroit is 22nd versus the point guard position. And it looks like he has a minute projection of around 29 minutes for tonight. So Kemba Walker is someone I'm looking at getting into my lineup tonight. As I mentioned, he's been out of the lineup. And you'll see in his last game, he had 43 fantasy points in 37 minutes versus Boston. So he's starting tonight against Detroit. I expect an output of at least 30 fantasy points for him, which would make his $5,200 salary worth it. Let's look at the shooting guard position. We're looking at Tim Hardaway Jr. for Dallas. He's 6,100 on DraftKings. His projection for the night is 35. His last 3 against Minnesota has been 52, 24, 35. Let's look at his last 3 overall. It was against Minnesota. And he had 52 in his last game against Minnesota, which was just a couple days ago. And his other 2 before that, he has 38 and 28. Luke is out. Look like Porzingis is questionable with a toe injury tonight, so you could see an uptake in his usage and minutes. His minutes projection is 38, so he's probably going to play the most minutes out of any Dallas player for tonight, and he has a very favorable matchup against Minnesota, who he torched in his last game, and also Minnesota's 23rd versus shooting guard position, so may not get us 52, but he still should get us a lot of fantasy points tonight. So Tim Hardaway Jr. for 6,100 seems like a pretty good value play for me tonight. Let's look at the small forward position, and we're going to the Portland New Orleans Pelicans game. We're looking at Josh Hart for New Orleans. 5,700 on DraftKings. His projection is 31. Portland in its 18th versus the small forward position. His last 3 against Portland has been 19, 35, and 15. Let's look at his last 3 overall. He's had 43, 26, and 33. You see he's getting anywhere from 32 minutes to 42 minutes a game. He is starting tonight. Again, teams who's been hit by COVID, so he should see his minutes. His minutes should be, his last 3 minutes has been 40, 41, 34, 33. I don't see that being an issue in this game. And his projection is 31. I think Hart gets us the 31 tonight against a Portland team. They're actually favored in this game. New Orleans, I'm not sure about that. Out of 218.5. I think they're going to get up and down the court, and Josh Hart should really excel in a game like this tonight. So he's who I'm looking at the small forward position tonight. Let's look at the power forward position. We're going back to the Minnesota-Dallas game. We're looking at Nas Reed. He's 3,200 on DraftKings with a projection of 23. He has a minute projection of 20. His last 3 has been 21, 25, 16. And that 21 was against Dallas. Let's look at this last 3 overall. Again, it was against Dallas, the 20 and a half, 10, and 9. Again, Minnesota's been hit by COVID. We should see an uptake in his minutes and his usage. So I like Nas Reed coming off the bench tonight in the power forward position. In my model, he's the highest rated power forward. Not saying he's going to have the most fantasy points for power forward, but when you take in points, minutes, price, all that, he's rated the highest on my board. So Nas Reed is someone I'm looking at the power forward position tonight. Let's look at the center position, and we're going to go to the Phoenix LA Lakers game, and we're going to look at JaVale McGee. He's 4,600 on DraftKings. His projection of 25. The Lakers are 5th against the center position, but the Lakers have been hit very hard by COVID. I think the only centers they have tonight are going to be Dwight Howard and DeAndre Jordan. JaVale's been playing very well lately. Let's look at his last 3. 32, 33, 12. Let's look at his last 5, 31 and 48. So he's had over 30 fantasy points in 4 of his last 5 games with a salary no higher than $4,700. Tonight, he's $4,600. I really like him in this position against the Lakers. Coming off the bench, he gets his minutes. You see he's getting anywhere from 26 minutes. His minute projection for tonight is around 25 minutes. So I do like JaVale McGee in this position tonight. Coming off the bench, playing very well against a Laker team who is pretty shorthanded tonight. So I like JaVale McGee at the center position tonight. Let's do a slight recap. Kemba Walker, point guard against Detroit. He's starting tonight. Has a projection of 29. I think he gets that tonight on a $5,200 salary. That's very good. Tim Hardaway Jr. should see heavy usage tonight, especially if Porzingis is out. Porzingis is questionable because of a toe injury. Luke is out. His minute projection is 38 minutes for the night. Hardaway could be just the guy for Dallas tonight. At small forward, we're looking at Josh Hart. He's starting. Projection of 31 fantasy points on a $5,700 salary. He's going to see high usage, high minutes. So if he just performs like he should get us our 30 projected fantasy points tonight. Nas Reed against Dallas. He's coming off the bench. He has a projection of 23 on a $3,200 salary. His last game against Dallas, which was only a few days ago, he had 21 fantasy points. Dallas is shorthanded big time. So Reed should do okay in his role of coming off the bench tonight and should have some favorable matchups. At center, we're looking at JaVale McGee for Phoenix. He's been playing very well. He scored 30 fantasy points out of 4 of his last 5 games. His projection for the night is 25 on a $4,600 salary. Really like him in this position tonight against a shorthanded Laker team. So those are my picks. Go ahead and hit that like button if you get any kind of value out of this video, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. That's all I have for today. Until the next video. Peace.